Hello and welcome to my video. In this one we're going to give you a hacking tutorial. So we're going to show you the Kali Linux operating system and we're going to create a phishing website. Now the reason why I'm doing this is to show you just how easy it is for hackers to create phishing websites. You can do it in just a matter of a few clicks. It's very easy to do. It's very easy to get tricked, but I'm going to show you crucially what things you need to look out for to make sure that you aren't tricked. So let's get on with the tutorial. Now the most important thing to remember here is this is for educational purposes only. If you go ahead and use these tools for illegal purposes to actually go ahead and steal credentials from other people, then you're going to be expecting a knock on the door from law enforcement because you will get caught. So all that being said and out the way, for educational purposes only, as I said, let's crack on with the video. So I've got my Kali Linux operating system fired up here and I'll just leave this screen moved over because I'm just doing some updates. So I'm just going to open up a new terminal. Now I have already downloaded the scripts that I'm going to use and it's on my desktop. So I'm just going to move into the desktop. So just find out where I am now. Yeah, so CD. Okay, so the program that we're going to be using for this tutorial is a program that's called Fisher. That's been put together by somebody called HTR Tech. So as you can see from the first menu here, you get to actually choose which platform you want to basically clone and fool your victim into logging into. So we're going to go ahead and choose Google here, which is number 3. And we're going to choose the new Gmail login page, number 2. Now there's various different ways to run the phishing site. So you can use Cloudflare or local expose. I'm going to use localhost. I'm just going to host this on my own machine just for the purposes of this demonstration. Don't need a custom port. Okay, so that's basically the website essentially set up, the phishing website now set up, and that's how easy it is for a hacker, even with very limited skills, just following some tutorials on YouTube like this one, how they can host a phishing website and steal your credentials. So let me show you how that actually works now in the real world. I'm just going to open up a web browser, so we're going to use Firefox here. Okay, so with the web browser open, so on the left hand side over here we've got our hacker's PC, we've got the Kali Linux running with Fisher, and at the moment what we're basically doing is it's sitting there waiting for a login. Okay, so it's monitoring this IP address and it's waiting for somebody to land on that address and input their credentials. So on the right hand side here, let's see if we can now log into that page. So in the real world, of course, a phishing campaign would be run via email. So you would receive an email from somebody and there'd normally be a link on there to, recover your email address or log into your emails, or somebody sent you $1 million, click here to log in. That's a silly example, of course, but these campaigns, these emails, these phishing emails can be very smart. They can be very convincing. So let me just show you what this actually looks like. So you would receive an email from a hacker, from a cyber criminal. You click on a link and it'll take you to the Gmail web login. So now in this example, we're just using this IP address, 0.0.1. As you can see, I've actually tried this earlier on. Now, of course, they wouldn't be directed to that address. They would be sent to a hidden address. So a hacker would use something like, googlelogin.com or lostmygooglelogin.com or login via Google. It'll be a domain name that looks like a Google login that basically is redirecting you to this particular IP address. So as you can see over here on the left-hand side with the hacker PC, it's actually already identified the IP address and is now waiting for some input. So on the victim's machine here on the right hand side, let's just type in actually it'd be a Gmail, wouldn't it, of course. Grant, so we've got grant21@gmail.com, and then the password, we'll put in a complicated password. Okay, and the victim clicks sign in. They're not going to save those details. Now, what's happened here on the victim machines is taking us to the account recovery screen. So as a victim, you'd be thinking, okay, so what's going on here? Did not recognize my password. Now, the key thing is we're actually now on the proper Google login, the account recovery screen here. So we're no longer on the hacker's machine. We're actually now on the Google site, and your victim may now be slightly confused and may then try and go ahead and re-log in, or maybe try and click forgot email and try and do the recovery. Back over to the left-hand side, what you'll basically see here is that our hacking machine, our Kali Linux machine, is actually captured our victim's details here. So what you can see the email address we entered, grant21@gmail.com, and then the long complicated password that I put in there. It's actually now been captured and it's been saved to a .dat file, but I can now see that on my screen. As a hacker, if I'm sitting here waiting, I could now very quickly log into my browser, gmail.com, and before the victim goes and does anything else, we can click login, and we can quickly log in with their details. Obviously this isn't going to work because it's not a real person, but just showing you for the purposes of the demonstration. Oh, actually it is a real person. I'm not a robot, it's actually picked up somebody in China. And then we can log in and you'd have their password to log in, you get the point. So there you go, that is how easy it is for a hacker to set up a phishing website and capture your details. So the key things to look out for is that first of all, if you receive any emails from Facebook or Google or anything else, you need to be automatically suspicious of anything that comes through. And the first thing I would suggest you do is never, ever, ever, for any reason, click on a link within an email. Actually now navigate to the site. So if I've received an email here on the left-hand side, from my work address telling me that I need to log into my Gmail account, I'm not going to click on the link. I'm not going to click on any buttons in that email. I'm actually going to open up Gmail on my web browser and try and log into my account and see if I can log in as normal. If I can log in as normal, then it'll automatically know that there's no need to recover a password or enter a security code. And that's really, really important. So the first thing is to be suspicious of any emails that come into your email box asking you to account recovery or anything like that. That's the first thing. The second thing is to make sure that if you do click on any links, that you're being ultra careful and you are looking at the domain name, the web address at the top there. Okay, and keeping your eye in particular if it changes, because as I said earlier on, any hackers using this will be using a domain name that looks it looks similar to an actual Google recovery. So it could be recovery.google.com, recoverymyaddress.com, something like that. So it might trick you into thinking it's an actual Google address when actually it's not. And that will remain up the top here, but actually in the background what it's doing is taking you to the IP address of the hacker's machine, as I showed you in the demo. So it's very, very important to, your first line of defense is to not click on any links, not follow any links at all in email addresses that require you to log into any website, any of your accounts. And then the second line of defense is to make sure you check out the URLs at the top. Now, the third thing to mention is that quite often you will find that websites like Facebook and Gmail are HTTPS websites, so they actually are encrypted. And any hackers trying to use phishing sites that are hosted elsewhere will often not be HTTPS, and your browser should, in theory, give you a warning that the site you're accessing isn't HTTPS, which means the data and the traffic isn't encrypted. So again, you just need to be thinking logically. If you click on a link in an email and a security message pops up in your browser saying you're about to access a site that's not secure, then you need to be thinking straight away, this isn't normal, this doesn't feel right. Close the browser and then log into facebook.com or gmail.com as you normally would, typing out the address. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see more hacking tutorials like this, please leave a comment below, like the video and subscribe if you'd like to see more. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.